Guess where we are today? Plitvice Lakes National Park, the place where Winnetou was filmed and therefore the reason why every German comes here. The park is famous for its chain of 16 turquoise lakes connected by waterfalls and cascades. So why is the water so turquoise? I'm glad you asked. It's because of the high level of calcium carbonate or limestone. These minerals reflect the sunlight instead of absorbing it. There are different hikes you can do depending on how many days you have. Most day visitors do option B, which is a bus ride to the upper lakes. You then walk 2 hours to the big waterfall and to the boat that takes you back to the starting point. I have to say the lakes were absolutely stunning, but it was too touristy for my liking. There were so many people, but the further you walked, the less people there were, so it will get better. I probably wouldn't recommend coming here in August either if you can avoid it. There are 2 car parks. Car Park 1 is at the big waterfall and Car Park 2 is where my Airbnb host recommended I parked. The reason is that when doing the standard route, you are walking downhill to get to the boat. A lot of the paths were wooden boardwalks and you couldn't really explore the park yourself. There is no swimming allowed to protect the water. I met a guide on the boat back and he said that swimming was banned in the 80s because the sun lotion was damaging the aquatic wildlife. It is a World Heritage Site and there are strict rules about staying on the allocated paths. The park is very dog friendly. Dogs are allowed on the buses and boats at no extra charge. The views were spectacular and one viewpoint was prettier than the next. Here is the big waterfall. The girls were so cute admiring the view. There were so many people admiring this beautiful scene. The girls also got a lot of attention. This is where you wait for the boat to take you back to the car park. It was Amy's first time on a boat. Foxy was so excited and was loving every second. Here you can see the passing boat, which was like the one we were on. It was then a walk back to the car and we drove to our Airbnb. It was an hour's drive from the national park to a remote countryside house. This was such a relaxing place to stay. The host was really friendly and welcoming. Here are some clips of the apartment and the grounds. I wish I had booked a couple of nights here. The girls were ready for bed after their exciting day at the lakes. The next morning the girls were on snooze mode. I had to convince them to go outside. Foxy's not a morning dog at all. They met the neighbour's dog and were observed by the house dogs. The host won Foxy's heart by playing ball with her. We left the village, filled up the tank and headed to the capital of Croatia, Zagreb. FYI, fuel was a little cheaper than Austria. On the way we found a truffle shop. Now I love truffle and I've tried to teach the girls to hunt for truffle many times. This shop had everything. The Truffle was all from Istria. I was allowed to take the girls too. This was probably as close as they would get to finding truffle. They had chocolates, chips, cheese, dips, dressings, and sausages. We headed on to Zagreb. The Airbnb host gave me the tip to park at the Importana Center, a shopping center. This was great advice as it was centrally located and really cheap. The Zagreb National Bank was the only place I could exchange my leftover kunas into euros, as I hadn't been back to Croatia since they changed their currency. We walked along the high street to the bank. Dogs were not allowed into the bank, but luckily the security guard was a dog lover and let me in. He also gave me some recommendations on where to eat traditional Croatian food. In Croatia, the restaurants only allow dogs if they have an outside area. We found a traditional place to eat and we got caught in the rain. The girls were not happy as they refused to walk in the rain. They did their usual taste testing and we waited a bit for the rain to stop. We were quite far from the car, so we got caught by the rain a few times. We found St. Mark's Church. The roof was stunning and reminded me somewhat of St. Stephan's Dome in Vienna. We then found this interesting chapel that was built in the corner of a city gate. The road literally went through it. It was called the Stone Gate. The girls were appalled to walk in this weather and to get their paws wet. They sneaked along the building walls like secret agents, stopping in every doorway for shelter. Another downpour caught us and we had to wait it out. Once it settled a little, I managed to convince the girls to make a run for a cafe so I could at least enjoy a cappuccino while we waited for them to be able to walk again. Finally, the skies lightened and we managed to make it through the park to the car. The girls were not happy that this was how they had to spend their final day of the road trip. They don't do the rain. If you have followed our 2-week Balkan road trip, thank you, and we will see you in the next video. I still have a few holiday videos left, but soon I will be posting from Vienna again. If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe if you have not already done so.